Polls show that incumbent Republican Senator Martha McSally from Arizona is likely to lose her re-election bid. Most polls show her losing against her independent challenger, Mark Kelly. And during a recent debate, McSally was actually asked about her support for Donald Trump, which in the beginning seemed to be an asset to her campaigning, but now has begun to become more of a liability. Let's take a look at this wonderful clip from the debate.
So Counterfeit Kelly says he's an independent and a moderate and lots of platitudes here, but the stakes could not be higher. If you want your tax cuts, I'm your girl. You want the largest tax increase in history? You got somebody else over here.
Senator, the question was, are you proud of your support for President Trump?
I'm proud to be fighting for Arizona every single day.
Is that a yes or a no for President
Trump?
Trump?
Putting legislation on President Trump's desk.
So you're proud of your support for President Trump?
You look at the legislation we put on his desk, it's to cut Arizona taxes.
It sounds like she is proud of her support for President Trump.
I'm proud to be fighting for Arizona. The question is, why was he wanting to support Bernie Sanders?
Oh my God. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love it when it's so good. No, that moderator needs to moderate every single debate moving forward. Like, the Martha McSally part, of course, is the best, but let's just focus on Mr. Moderator for a second, because like he's monotone, straight-faced. Do you support Donald Trump? Are you going to answer that was the question. Do you answer? Are you going to? Sounds like you support Donald Trump. Like that, it was awesome, right? Like no shenanigans, just keeping it straight to the point. And he was absolutely right in how he assessed that situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark you down as being proud of Donald Trump. Yes, there should be a term for when in your quest to not say something that would be damaging, like to amount X, doing Y damage to yourself, looking so flailing and cowardly and dishonest that you look honestly that you have to look worse than you would have if you had just honestly said the thing that people wouldn't like. Like you have her, you had Dr. Conley over the weekend being asked about Trump's oxygen. It's like, we're not idiots. We know what you're doing. Like who watching that thinks, oh yeah, no, she's a straight shooter, Real Talk Express right there. And they still do it. I hope that we're on the cusp of breaking through a little bit of that, because now with the ability for little snippets of video like that to be spread so widely, so quickly, I think that the damage will be a little bit worse. But that's embarrassing. You don't look like a real person. You look like a political algorithm, like breaking down and trying to reboot itself. It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic.
So let's get into a little of the details when it comes to this particular election. So the Arizona race is one of the most competitive in the country, and it is crucial to the future control of the chamber, meaning the Senate. Democrats almost certainly need to defeat Martha McSally to take back the Senate. McSally is competing with Kelly, that's Mark Kelly, in a swing state in which a centrist Democrat, Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema, won the state's last US Senate race in 2018, and polls show that former Vice President Joe Biden is competitive in Arizona, a state where Trump won by only 3% in 2016. Just to give you a sense of what the polls are looking like, I alluded to this earlier, but a New York Times Siena poll released on October 5th found McSally trailing Kelly by 11 points. And a USA Today Suffolk poll released 3 days earlier found Kelly with a 9% lead over the incumbent senator. And Mark Kelly, as progressives, is not a candidate that would necessarily really appeal to us. He's certainly, he identifies as a moderate, an independent. The Navy captain and NASA astronaut is the husband of former Arizona Representative Gabby Giffords, who was shot in the head and nearly killed in 2011 and is now a leader in the movement against gun violence. The race has pivoted over healthcare. This is the part that you should know about in regard to policy, especially during the coronavirus pandemic. McSally said on Tuesday that Kelly's support for a public healthcare option was the first step to the government takeover of healthcare. Kelly has rejected those attacks, saying in one ad that he will never vote to eliminate private health insurance. So look, he's definitely better than Martha McSally, and it is important for Republicans to lose control of the Senate. But with that said, I mean, he's not a candidate that we would be championing, but he's better than McSally. That's where we're at with that race.
Yeah, and we've gotten a reminder, not that either of us or most of our audience needed it, that controlling the Senate is not just like a kind of cool thing to have. It's pretty important actually for basically every priority that progressives have. Super fast, the counterfeit Kelly thing, is that like a pathetic attempt to do like a Trump style nickname? Is that what she was going for there? It's not very good.
Yeah, although like I don't know, it's awful. What does that mean? So Mark Kelly is a counterfeit version of Mark Kelly. Is that, what does that mean?
Counterfeits money. I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's why you stick with little. It's simple.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.